Hi guys, Captain TigerLily here, and it is week 3 of all of my crochetiness. This week is going to be a little bit different than the last two. I'm still going to do the same kind of like style of doing like showing you some of the top-down crochet, which we're going to do for the ducks and for the yolk slimes, which I told you about, the little fried eggy buddies. Which they are getting eyes because it's so cute when you add the eyes. And obviously in the game they have eyes. And we're also going to be making a bunch of Stegosauruses, and I'm actually going to be making the Ankylosaurus as well. I don't know if I'm going to get top down of that this time or if that's going to go in the next video, but I'm going to get, not even sure if it's going to go in the next video, but I am going to make some Ankylosaurus as well. And I think I've decided I'm going to hold off on doing the possums until after this, just because I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do them. And I don't want to run out of time to do the things that I actually want to do. So, I'm going to get started on making some yolky slimes, which we're going to cut over to me doing the yolk top down. And then I am just going to be sitting here in same outfit you're seeing now. And I'm just going to be making a bunch of yolks, a bunch of little yolks. I will say the difference that I'm making with this pattern versus what it says is because in the pattern, like, it's supposed to be all one color because the puddle slimes and the fire slimes are all one solid color. This one's gonna be a little different. So basically where it tells you to stop the circle to switch and put the safety eyes in, I'm actually gonna swap over to the other color. So that way the bottom is solidly white and there's no yellow sticking through. Because on this one, you essentially... Hi, Kitty. She's come to join us, apparently. Essentially, for, like, the puddle one, you would do blue for the ball and then stitch the part that sticks out around it to that. But I want the whole bottom to be solid white. So I'll show you when I'm doing the top down. It'll be totally fine. But yeah, I'm gonna get my hook. I'm gonna get the camera tilted where it needs to be. And we're gonna start working on these little yokies. It's gonna be great. I am actually as well gonna use the 9mm safety eyes just because that's my normal go-to size for my smaller crochet items. The only ones in the past that I used a smaller one on were the really tiny stingrays that I did that were the acrylic yarn stingrays, which I don't really ever want to make acrylic yarn stingrays again. They suck. I don't like it. But anyway, we're gonna get working on this yoki. So yeah, I got plenty of yarn I can work with this for, so we're gonna get started. I'm also gonna be listening to the newest Sleep Token album on repeat because I'm obsessed. And if you haven't listened to it, you totally should because it's really freaking good. I'm just saying, it's really freaking good. Also, if you see cuts throughout this, it's probably because my phone rang and I had to stop and take phone calls. So more than my usual cuts. So like if it cuts to me halfway through doing this this cut of me and I'm just all of a sudden wearing another outfit, that's why. Mainly because I had to cut to a new day, and yeah, that's the thing. Or if my face gets even more washed out than it already is because of the lighting, that's why. So it's fine. Look at this little guy. I will say the biggest problem that I have with it being the thicker velvet yarn for the white is that it doesn't lay flat. It looks more like a UFO. Like there's a fold down. Which it's not the end of the world. The other problem that I found is this little line right here shows up along the edge, but it's not terrible. So, I mean, I can make it work. The only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to weave in this end, which, the weaving in ends when it's like this is always really difficult for me with the velvet. I don't know why. It just is. But we've got one done. Obviously we have the one that you guys saw when I was doing the top down stuff. So that's great. So that gives us 2. I'd like to I think I want to make it like 5 or 6. I don't want to do too many because I don't know how they're going to sell, because I am going to put them in the $5 bin, I think. Maybe 6. It's the only thing I can think of. But I want to know if I'm going to see if I can try to find them next time I go shopping, but I want to see if I can find the supplies to do keychains with. Maybe. I might hold off and do that next year. That way I can actually like get a huge set of keychain stuff. but I like how this turned out. And I'm really excited. The biggest thing that I always struggle with on this is getting the row started. Just because I am stitching, especially with this one, I'm stitching into much thinner yarn than what it's currently using, which does kind of suck, but it's not the end of the world. But other than that, like, these are super, super easy. Biggest thing that I'm going to do with this is essentially stitch it up a little bit along here, stitch down into the body, and then stitch it through underneath like I would finish off any of my other pieces, just to hide the end as best as I can. Hopefully this will work the way that I'd like it to. I don't know if it will, but we're gonna try. Let's see. I think it will. Actually. Hold on. Stitching into the body is a problem. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna hold in nicely just like it would for the other parts of it. I'll take it. I'm getting fluffies everywhere. This is why I have a bag. This is the dumbest thing, and I'm gonna do this before I show you how he looks all finished, but I actually keep a Ziploc bag in here to collect all of the like leftover snipped off bits from when I'm making different projects, so I don't have to keep reaching behind me for the trash can that's in this back corner, because it's so annoying. And that way I at least have somewhere where all of the bits are contained, and I can keep them from getting strewn all over the desk and or constantly leaning back and forth to dump them. So this little bit right here is gonna go in the yarn bits bag. Let me get my hook. And I'm actually, I don't think I've talked about this before, but I actually use a lot smaller hook when it comes to making amigurumis than the yarn itself calls for. Because most skeins of yarn will actually tell you on the skein what the suggested size is. But look at him! He's so cute! I love him! He sits so nicely on your palm. He's just a little fried eggy boy. He's so cute. I am going to make at least like 5 or 6 of these. So I have 2 done. So at the very least, I'm going to try to make 4 more today. You probably won't see them all in this section of the video, but when I come back tomorrow, I will show you guys how many I made, and I'm super excited. But I think they turned out really well, and this barely uses up any yellow at all. Like, it barely uses up any. It's 6 rows of yellow. 6, 7. Hold on. Hold, please. It's 6. It would be 9 rows of yellow if I was doing the pattern the way it calls for and then switching the color, but I like having the white on the bottom. I think it looks a little more streamlined. That's the word I was looking for. Streamlined. And seamless along here, even though there is a bit of a scene where you can see the yellow, but it kind of does look a little more authentic to a fried egg, where you would actually see that little ring of yellow if you flipped the egg over. So I kind of like it, but yeah. And technically this works either way. You can either have his eyes up like this where he's looking out at you, or if you did it like this where his little eyes are in the front and this is like his belly instead of like that. So he's a cute little guy. He's a cute little boy. I like him. I'm gonna make 4 more of these at least. If I really get ambitious, I may go up to 10. I don't know. It's gonna depend on how quickly they work out through the rest of today, but these turned out really good. Obviously, once I'm done with these, the next part of the video is going to be the ducks, which those do take me a little bit longer, and I haven't made any in a very long time. So it's going to kind of be me going back into getting into the pattern. But I am going to make them a little bit differently because the first time I made them, all the bodies were made with the same yarn I used for the baby turtles. And I didn't want to do that again this time. I'm going to use the baby velvet because it's a little bit thicker. And I think the beaks are going to look a little more size proportional to what they are in the pattern, but that's for future me to figure out. Current me is going to make more yokis because this is a cute boy and I need to make more. Also, you can see our little baby over here. She's so sleepy. It took her a minute to want to lay down, but we just make her comfy. I also have a fun kind of tribute to do for her once she does go, that'll kind of immortalize her on the channel, but I will talk about that more once we get closer to that. So that will be a dependent on how long she makes it kind of thing, which I'm not looking forward to any of that, but here we are. What? Did you hear me talking about you? Oh, big yawns. You wanna lay down? Hi, baby. You can lay down. It's okay. It's okay. It's alright. I'm right here. You can lay down. Lay down. It's okay. It's alright. It's okay. She also gets really shaky on her legs now too, so it's really hard for her to want to lay down. She's not fully laying down right now. She's still standing on her front legs. Like, this blanket squishes down a lot, but you can lay down, sweetie. It's okay. Hi, baby. It's alright. Lay down. You're pulling the blanket down. Hold on. Let me fix it. You just gotta hold it until you're done doing biscuits. There you go. Just gonna hold that till she's done doing biscuits. But I'm gonna hop back into doing more Yokis and listen to more Sleep Token because I'm enjoying myself. You are not going to hear me saying you are going to see me sing, but it sounds weird when you don't have the background music, and I'm not prepared to do a cover of that. So maybe in the future. But yeah, the other thing is with the Stegos, I don't really have a lot of color options with the velvet, and I need to go on a rant here for a second because I'm a little sad. I love using Premier yarns, because I think their yarns are phenomenal. I think they are very well made, for the price, especially. Like, they're very good quality yarn for the price that they are. I'm sad because they discontinued my favorite one. So, like, obviously you guys know I love the Pixie Dust Brights. We've been making a lot with that sparkly stuff, and I do very much love their chenille yarn, which is, what is it called? I can't remember. Editor me, put it on screen. But the one that I loved the most was their Retro Velvet. And the reason being, it's like the Bernat Velvet, but slightly thicker, and it's so soft when you work it up. They've discontinued all of their Retro Velvet line, and I don't have a lot yet left. So whatever, the blue and purple that I'm using for the dinosaurs, that's all I have left. I have no more. I have some dark green, and I have some red that I used for, the heck did I use that red for? I think it was a Christmas something. But I have a little bit of the red left, and I have their almond color that I was using for a mushroom at some point. But once that's gone, that and the cream, that's it. I can't do any more of that. So I may be swapping to a different velvet yarn, which there's one on Amazon that I really like. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. We're gonna go back to Sleep Token, but yeah. That was an adventure that we just went on, and it's fine. You guys aren't gonna see me make any more Yokis on screen, but we're gonna move on to doing that later, and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be totally fine. But anyway, we're gonna hop over after this section, and we're gonna go make some ducks, and we're gonna do a whole outfit change because it'll be a new day, and you guys will get to see me make. I'm actually gonna make a yellow duck and I'm deciding whether or not I want to make a green duck or if I want to make a purple duck. I think I'm going to make a green duck. I'll probably make purple off screen, but I know for sure I'm going to make the yellow duck while we're on screen because I've already have the yellow out, and I have the orange for the beaks. Part of it's trying to escape. But I think these two colors look really, really nice together, and I can make an actual, like, rubber ducky color ducks, which I think are going to be super cute. I can't do mallard ducks with this pattern, which is unfortunate, but I do have a couple other patterns later on. I have so many crochet videos planned for later, you guys. I also have fluffies on my dress. Listen, can you not? Anyway, but I'm gonna crochet some more yokis while I'm here with my little craft buddy. Yeah, my little cuddle craft buddy, Sasha. Yes, you are. Alrighty, we are on day 2, and I got more of the little yokis done. I have 3 more like this, and I made a couple that are actually really uneven ones that have like all these little jaggedy ones, so they actually look more like a little, like an eggy sploot, which I super love. They turned out super cute. This was Josh's suggestion, so props to Josh for seeing the creative vision. We love that. But yeah, I have a bunch of these over in the bin. You know the bin, obviously the bin. And I think I have 6 total done. I think I am gonna make 10, just because they don't take me very long to make. They take me maybe like 30 minutes max to make one, if even. It's not that bad. And I am gonna go grab the big mushroom, and I'm gonna show you guys him here because I couldn't help myself. I have to show you guys the big mushroom. All right, guys, look at him. He's got his face. He's so cute. And I swear every single time I make these, the face turns out different. I don't know how I do that. It also unintentionally matches my dress. I didn't mean to do that either. But every single time I do this, somehow either the eyes turn out differently or the mouth turns out differently or both. I don't know how I do it, but anyway, he is now ready to go fully. He's gonna go with me when I go. He's gonna go outside the bin. He's not gonna go in the bin because there's no room for him in the bin. After everything that I added from everything I did off screen for this video and everything that I am doing on screen for this video, he is not gonna fit in the bin. Like, he and the bees and the big turtles are not gonna fit in the bin, so that's okay. I think I'm also gonna go up there probably like the week leading up to probably like Wednesday or Thursday and collect my other 2 bigger critters up there. That I have another big mushroom that is blue, purple, and green top with spots, and then I also have another very big turtle that I want to bring. I have plenty of the other size turtles and like the little turtles and everything, and I've got a few of the other mushrooms that I'm gonna take, but everything else I think I'm pretty set on. So, but he's gonna go in the bin, back in the bin, I suppose, but not the big bin. He's gonna go in the little, not made it to the bin. I got 2 bins. I got all the bins. So I'm not really going to be able to do too much of this on camera today just because I don't have a lot of time. I had a lot of other videos to record just to make sure that I had everything done leading up to market, so that way I didn't have to worry about recording them like the days that I'm trying to do only market prep stuff. But I am gonna I'm gonna at least get started on one of the ducks right now while we're here. I also have this I have 3 extra of the little duck beaks beside the one that you guys are gonna see in a second in the top down. But yeah, these are super easy to stitch in because I'm just stitching them in like I do the turtle tails and the fins, where I'm literally just crocheting into it, crocheting it back out, which it makes it so much easier to do it that way instead of having to like stuff something. So, but yeah, it's not gonna take me too long to do them just because, I mean, technically the duck itself is only 24 rows. It's not that difficult. Child, where'd you go? Oh, hello. You can come back up. I don't know why you got up in the first place, but you can come back up. But I'm gonna need this box out too because this is my 9mm eyes, which is box 1 of 5. If you can't tell, I use that particular size a lot. I use that. I use the 12mm. I could speak. That I use these. I use the 12mm ones, which is the ones that I used for the dinosaurs, so the Brachiosaurus and the Stegosaurus. And later on in the video, you will see more Stegos and the Ankylosaurus. And since I'm using the bigger velvet instead of the baby velvet, I'm using the 12mm eyes for that. I still can't find my 18mm eyes for the bees. I still can't. So the big bees just have small eyes. They just have tiny little eyes. That's okay. They're just squinting. They're just squinting. It's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna get started on a duck here. I already did the green one for you guys on camera, so you guys are gonna see that in a second. And I also did a purple one that I went and put in the bin. I'm not gonna do too many different colors of ducks just because I don't think they're gonna sell super well. But I've got a few left over that I showed you guys already from the past couple of videos. And yeah, I'm just gonna make a couple more of different colors and see what happens. So I'm gonna tilt the camera down and we're gonna get started. Okay, so I got the head, which super quick. That was really easy. Hello, Kitty. I saw you jump. And the starts of the little tail. And I'm gonna finish this up real quick and make a bunch more ducks with the rest of my day. But yeah, I really liked how this turned out. I may not actually have time to do. I'm not even entirely sure if I want to do the ankylosauruses. Yes, cat. I am aware of your presence. Can I finish the video? Is that a thing I'm allowed to do? Apparently not. I can't finish the video. I'm not allowed. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure I want to do the ankylosauruses until after this is over, just so that way I can take a little more time with them. Same with the plesiosaur, and the pterosauria. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna hop on over to Tomorrow Me and putting all of the stuff in the bin to take with us, and so it's gonna be a fun time. Alrighty, so we're gonna dump all of our new critters into the bin, which is getting kind of full. I don't have as many as I thought I was going to, just because things got a little chaotic this week and I did not get a chance to finish all of them, but I have a bunch that I'm going to be working on next week, so it's going to be a fun time. We're going to dump them in the bin, and I'm going to show you guys what all I made this week. Alright, so we got the little stego, the little green one that we made in last video, in the bin. Also got the Brocky, same deal. He's so cute, I love him. I also made this little turtle when I was at work the other day, and I finished him up. He's super cute. I got a couple other turtles that I'm going to be making to add to this. I want to make a few more little turtles. I actually don't think I'm going to have time to make more bun cats, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I've got a few more ducks in the works. Speaking of, I got the little green one that I did in the video earlier.
I don't have the yellow one that I was working on because if you guys didn't see, my dumbass did not hit the record button when I went to do the yellow duck. But he's in the other bin. It'll be fine. I've got 2 blue sparkly bees. They're so bright. I love them. They're ready to go. I got 2 purple bees. Look at that color. Look at that color. So pretty. I have 1 of this blue sparkly bee here, which is the same color as this one. It's just smaller. I don't actually know where the other one went. I'm pretty sure he fell behind the bin in my office, so I'll have to get him out. Look at all these little plushies. I got these blue ones, which are not the sparkly. They're the velvet ones, but they're so cute. I love them. And I made another yellow one. I actually have 2 more yellow ones that I made in there, but I did not, again, grab them from the bin. It's fine. It'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it. So I am going to make a few more ducks, like I said. I'm going to... Next week's not really going to have any top downs, and it's probably not going to have a whole lot of me crocheting because I'm going to be doing... I'm going to print out some business cards. I have to print out a few signs to go on the front of the different display pieces. And I want to print out new tags for the ones that aren't going to get like a display piece on the front. So for like the bigger ones, I'm going to have them tagged separately, just so that way I don't have to worry about like trying to remember every single price. I can just remember the ones that are on the big ones and then each one of the smaller bins. But I'm going to do some more Stegosauruses off screen. I'm going to do some more ducks. I'm going to do a few more bees, and I have all the 6 Yokis that I talked about in this video, and then I'm going to make probably like 4 more. I think 10 is a good number of those because I think those are going to be really, really cute. I don't really think there's anything else I'm going to make other than turtles, just because I have a decent amount of other stuff, and I'm going to finish off the other, the cinema rolls that I have, which will give me 4 total. I'm not going to do any more of that, just because I don't really think I need to. I was going to make some little Mewtwo ones, but I can't find the little wire bit that I had started to put in some of the tails. Like some of them I would stitch down, but I had put a wire in a couple of them and I liked that, so, but I'm not worried about that right now. Next year's probably going to be like a 2-month prep time just so that I can really dig into some of the stuff, but that's totally fine. But back to end of video me.
Okay, so I know I'd originally said that I was going to do Stegosauruses in this video, but I think for the next 2 videos we're going to have not a lot of crocheting from me, and mainly because I kind of want to get into more of like, I guess you could call it the business aspect, which I talked about a few minutes ago in the bin part of the video. But I want to go through making business cards because I want to have some of those set up on the table. And I didn't bring this up, but I do care cards as well, which I've been making by hand up to this point, so that I could send them in my Etsy orders and stuff like that. But it's got like all the care instructions and the warning and everything, and it's got all my contact stuff on the back. But I think I'm gonna print them out and then I can just add the stickers that I like to do on them after. The other thing that I want to do in the next one is I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of like the mock-up of what I think my setup's gonna be this year, because I didn't have the basket last year. I only started using the basket as an actual basket to put stuff in this year. So I'm going to bring it and have that be the $5 plushie bin. And then I'm going to do the, I'm going to have my 2 side setups like I did before. So hopefully that'll give me a decent amount of space on my single table in order to kind of like put everything together. And I don't actually have a tablecloth, so I'm probably gonna use a bed sheet and tie it to the table, because I don't have what I want to get for next year is I want to get green ones, specifically because I found a shade of green that I really, really like. Sorry, my nose is super itchy. And I want to put that over it, and it's like one of those elastic ones that'll hold to the bottom legs of the table. And it'll hide all of my stuff underneath, but I'm still gonna be able to hide everything underneath with the sheet, so I'm not super worried about that particular part. It'll just have to be a sheet that doesn't normally go on the bed. I have one. I gotta find it. So that's gonna be my mission before the next video. Is find the sheet. But yeah, I also feel really dumb that I did that whole yellow ducky and it didn't record any of it. I had it all set up because when I record the top-down stuff, I have the camera on top of my mic arm and like clipped on there so that it's facing down to the desktop and I can just record straight here from the desktop. And I had OBS pulled up. It was visually seeing everything in the camera, but I thought I had hit pause between the green duck and the yellow duck because I did the green duck first. I hit stop. So when I hit unpause, it didn't do anything. And then I felt dumb. I felt real dumb. Which is weird because normally when you hit stop recording, the pause button goes away. But I guess for some reason OBS glitched and left the pause button up there. I don't know. I don't know, man. But whatever. It is what it is. But it is done and I will show you guys in the next video because the next video is probably only going to be like 2 days worth of me doing stuff because I'm going to do like 2 or 3 days of just prep time of me making plushies that I need to finish. So it's going to be making the 3 cinnamon rolls, finishing up some more stegosauruses because I definitely still want to have more of those because I only have 2 right now. And I want to have, essentially I want to have an equal amount of stegosauruses and brachiosauruses because I think that'd be really cute to have a couple different colors of those in one of the basket ones. I want to make sure that I have more turtles. So I will probably spend an entire day just making turtles. I'm going to finish up a couple more ducks. I want to make a purple one. And I actually found, I still had some of this, like gorgeous, like sage green. So I'm going to make at least 1 sage green duck. I might make 2 depending on how much of this I use. I probably won't have enough, and I still have this whole ball of yellow left to make more ducks or bees out of. Plus I still have the whole big skein, but, the other one that I'm going to make is I am going to make 1 bee of this color because I really like this like, lilac-y pink purple color because it's really pretty. And yeah, the blue duck is over in the other bin that I did not put in the big bin, but the big bin's almost full, guys. It's almost full. We're pretty close. And I was surprised that that was my goal. Oh, there's actually one other thing I wanted to show you guys that I am going to make for sure. Nope, I lied. It's 2. I am going to make 1 more big bee, with this purple, like I did with the blue and the yellow bees. And I got another pattern for a mushroom. And yes, I know I said I wasn't going to make any more mushrooms, but it's a mini mushroom. And it's with, I have these 2 colors left of the Premier, what the hell is it called? Parfait. That's what it is. The Parfait Chunky. So I'm going to make at least 1 of those little mushrooms with this. If I've got time, I'll make 2. But I don't know if I'll have enough to do 2, honestly. I might, but I'm not sure. It's going to depend on how much the pattern uses. I know the pattern originally called for, sorry, I'm trying to fit that back in there. I know the pattern in that one originally was using the velvet yarn, so it might be a little bit bigger than the picture, but the picture only had it like being like 6 to 8 inches tall. So anyway, I think it'll be a cute one to do that one. Plus, I don't have to make separate leggies and arms, so that might be a nice switch to not have to make separate leggies and arms. I think it does require, you know what, hold on, we're gonna look since we're here. Where did I put it? Which folder did I put it in? I think I put it in this one. Did I? No, I didn't. I've lost it. Help. It's in this one. Here it is. Okay. There we go. Okay, so this one does require safety eyes, but the finished one is really small, like really small. Yeah, because this one says to use Bernat Velvet, which I totally want to. I have a bunch of the the burlap velvet that I was using for the medium-sized turtles, in the tan sandy kind of color. And then I have I have some red Premier Retro Velvet. I have some green Premier Retro Velvet left over. I've got this and a whole other skein of the burlap velvet. What the hell color is this? Pine. That's what it is. I didn't even get it uncovered and I remembered. I could do pink mushrooms too, because I have a bunch of the pinks and purples left over from making Chomper. So maybe we'll do an entire video of making mushroom colors. Would you guys want to see that? Because I'm totally down for that. And this is a new mushroom pattern, so this would be really, really cute. I actually am probably going to get 2 out of the Parfait Chunky, which is going to be really exciting. Also, something new that's going to be happening, and I'll show you guys when we get it done. I am making a yarn shelf wall, okay? And we're not putting the shelves in the wall yet. We're doing like a shelf wall where it's going to be like full-size bookshelves, and I'm going to put my yarn on that shelf. So I will show you guys the process, a little bit of that, and if I can't show you guys like the process of us putting together the shelves and putting them in there, I'm at least going to show you guys the finished product. And yes, whatever doesn't go in the Freedom Fest market, I'm actually going to put all the leftover big ones up on a shelf. So I'm just going to have a plushie shelf, which I had before with the dinosaurs, but it wasn't like a proper shelf. Okay. It was the top of a box that became a shelf. Also, there's a kitty back there. That's been a while. She has not wanted to jump up there in a while, but anyway, the other thing is, I'm also going to go through in the next episode, and again, I'm going to talk to you guys about pricing. I was going to talk about it in this video, but I just did not get the chance, and my brain was not there. My brain was like, just make plushies, and I was like, okay, that's what we do, and we follow the dopamine. That is what you do when you have a neurospicy brain. You follow the dopamine. So yeah, I'm actually really, really excited for this. Thankfully, it's not supposed to be quite as hot this year as it was last year. Last year, I'm pretty sure it was over 110 degrees. And if it wasn't, it felt like it. We were sweating buckets. We had our entire cooler full of ice and cold drinks just down in the cooler. And by the time we left that night, all of the ice had melted. It was awful. I even had like this tiny box mist fan, because if you guys were here last year, that was when my AC went out in our house. That was when the AC went out. So I couldn't even record videos properly because it was so freaking hot. And so I would have to come in here. I could only come in here at night and then edit a single video and then leave the computer alone. Like, I couldn't touch it. It was so freaking hot in this house. So I would go back out in the living room or in the bedroom with all of the fans blowing on me and just have to sit there. And then this crazy cat sat where the fan were blowing. And I'm like, child, what are you doing? You're gonna swelter in this feckin' heat. But anyway, so yeah. I'm gonna make a couple more slimes. I want to make 4 more slimes because I have 6 done. I'm gonna make at least, I think, 3 more stegos. I want to make a purple one, a blue one, and then what was the other color I wanted to make? Teal. If I don't make teal, I might make some leftovers with the leftover colors from the bees, because I have a decent amount of those left over. I don't know if that's how that's actually gonna work, but I also have purple, like a really dark purple I could do, which would be kind of pretty. I have like a full skein and a half of that, so I might do that. But anyway, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make a purple duck, the pinky purple duck, and at least 1 green duck and probably 1 more yellow, and then no more ducks. I'm not gonna make any more ducks. They don't take me that long. It's just that I want to focus on making sure I have enough turtles, because I only have like, I think 7 total of the tiny turtles, and those actually sold pretty well last year. I think I sold like 7 or 8 of them at least. So I at least want to have like 10, probably. So I at least have to, I'm essentially going to double what I have now in turtles. And I'm going to finish the cinnamon rolls, which I will show you guys. I'm essentially, each day that I'm going to be recording, I'm going to show you guys what I've already finished, before they go in the bin. And then what was the other thing I was going to make? Brain. You need a brain. Other than the couple of green mushrooms, the little ones. Brain? Are you gonna brain? Brain is not gonna brain. Okay, well, if editor me remembers what the other thing was she'll put it in, but current me does not. Cat is gone. But yeah, I'm not gonna make any more bun cats just because I don't really have time and I want to make sure I've got the other ones out. But I'm actually gonna, throughout the like up until I do another market again, I'm actually gonna start stockpiling a lot more inventory of already finished plushies, if that makes sense, because I really, really want to make sure that I've got a decent amount. So hopefully that will help in the long run and I won't have to do so much prep time. But I really liked doing all the prep time for this, so. But anyway, I'm going to leave this video here, and in the next one we're going to talk business side of things a little bit more, and you guys are going to get to see some of the finished product when it comes to business cards and my care cards and stuff like that, which I'm not entirely sure how I want to do the business cards. I have a couple of options that I was thinking of, because I'm going to do my Etsy banner logo at the top of the card, and then underneath have my contact information. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, if you guys liked this video, hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see more videos from me. Hit the notification bell. That way you guys will know when new videos go live. They will go straight to your sub box, and share the video around to anybody you think might enjoy watching me go through this crazy crochet adventure. After we are done with market, it's probably going to be a couple of weeks before I get to the next crochet video, which actually is not going to be Steve and Patch, because it's going to take me a little bit of time to find that teal color that I need for Steve. What I'm actually going to do is I have two different kind of videos that I want to try. One of them, now that I've thought about it, is actually going to be the mushroom video. Just make a bunch of mushrooms. I was about to say a butt ton of mushrooms, but that wasn't what I actually wanted to say. The other one, I wrote a list here of different crochet video ideas, but I have seen a bunch of different tutorials for hippos, and I've never made a hippo. So I think we're going to do a challenge video where I try out 3 different hippo patterns and then see which one I like the best. I think that's going to be a fun one. So you guys are probably going to see those 2 before we see Steve and Patch again, but we are going to be getting back to more dinosaurs, and I also have info updates for Paleopines. We're getting Spinosaurus in the game, so I have another dino I have to go collect. So that's going to be fun. But anyway, I'm going to leave the full playlist somewhere here on the screen for all of the crochet videos I've done up to this point, if you guys want to watch the rest of my crocheting adventure on YouTube. Obviously, I've been crocheting for a hell of a lot longer than that, but this is just what I have put on camera at this point. And I am going to leave the link, as I usually do with these videos, to the patterns that I used for the duck and for the slime, which it isn't actually the Yoki slime, it's the puddle and fire slime pattern, but you can kind of change it into the Yoki slime just because it works. But if you guys want to check those out, those will be down in the description as well. So that being said, I'm Captain TigerLily, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye!